Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is. I'm glad you're here. Well, since we got this journal to work on, I have collected some stuff. I don't know what all we're going to use. I have some thoughts, I have some ideas, but nothing really solid as to what we're going to work on, and it's just going to kind of flow with what's happening because I'm not completely sure what the deal is. So I got my coffee here. And I wanted to show these so you can see these from our last work on this journal, that they're dried, because I realized I forgot to show them. So that's what those little friends look like after they got all dried, that were spritzed with some distress. Not in our exact colors, but the closest ones that I have. So we have these as a potential to use in anything that we're doing. So those can go off to the side. And our journal, which I haven't decided exactly what we're going to be. I think I might do a hidden spine on this because I think it would be really nice to do a hidden spine, and that seems like kind of a popular thing, and I haven't done one for a while, so I thought that might be a good idea too. So still thinking on that, but anyway, we can still get some work done in our signatures. So I'm going to set this off to the side for the moment as I go through some of the other things that I have out over here. I grabbed a couple of fancy scissors that I had. I got all of my scissors secondhand, these kind of designed scissors. So I have a bunch of them, and sometimes you get doubles when you're like, oh, I don't have those or whatever. So when I do get doubles, I check and see which one is better. But generally these work really well for quite a while, and they're pretty sturdy. I've actually worn some of them out and the handles have broken because I've had them for so long. So just a note on those kind of scissors. Let's see, I grabbed some washi, I have our ink, I have our swatches, which I went back and I wrote down the colors since I couldn't remember what they were the other day. So we have our color palette there. This envelope is a bit on the bright side, but I think we can tone it down a little bit to kind of go, maybe decorate it some. I want to add this into the book. So I have some stuff that I've kind of set aside as items that we might use. I have some packaging, this beautiful packaging for some soap that I think will be beautiful in this journal. And I pulled out some book pages from a couple dictionaries and a couple other things. Here's some more interesting book pages. We're going to do something. This is a piece of stationery, so this is going to go in our bin of ephemera to add to the journal. I also have this other little friend here too. So I have like various stacks of stuff, and we're going to go through them and see what we can do to add some decoration to the journal. I pulled some fabric, some doilies, and some things like that that kind of went with our colors to maybe add in as well. So I'm just gonna start in with some stuff. So first of all, these are gorgeous. They're from a wildflower book that I had that I've slowly been using for things, and they're perfect for journaling cards as is, but they're a little bit on the big side. So if we look at our journal, it's going to be pretty difficult for them to fit as is. So I'm going to trim them down. And since I plan on not really doing much, like maybe we'll add like a cluster onto them, but probably not, because some things I think are just pretty the way they are. But we are going to use our fancy scissors. And since we have a wonderful line to go with, I'm just going to go ahead and start trimming close to the line. That's all I'm gonna do. So that's what I'm doing first, is just gonna cut these friends down, and then we'll move on to the next thing. So that's cut out as is, really pretty. Let's add back in the Pink Lady slipper, regular scissors. So I like to kind of, as I'm going with a themed journal, I don't necessarily have like sometimes I have a plan. Sometimes I have a very specific plan. This, you know. Other times I do not. And then I kind of jump around here and there and decide what things are going to work as I go. So, and that is kind of part of what's fun for me. All right, I'm pulling from my scrap bin because I don't know if you guys have followed some of my other videos. I'm really trying hard to stick to scraps and as much as possible. I mean, yes, I pulled book pages and stuff like that, but some of the book pages that I have pulled are still from like either my scrap bin, they're offcuts from other things, they've been pulled from various other options. So I'm basically just going to make a little cluster on the bottom here because I want to add this on. And I think it's really pretty. I like this gold. And I am going to cut that. One thing I did not check was to see if my glue was ready to go here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put this like this. I'm just going to go with it. I'm not going to be too fussy about things. This is going to be a very neat journal compared to some of my other ones. It's not going to be a grungy. It may get a little bit of a shabbiness every once in a while, but that's okay. But it's not going to be grungy like my grungy journals. So we're thinking neat, tidy-ish. All right, so that, and then I want to put this little bit of this is a handmade paper scrap left over from in a big art piece that I made. Very large art piece that I made. So just making a little bit of a fun little, feel like it needs one more thing. One more thing. What is the one more thing? I don't know. Maybe not. We'll just go with it. I guess it could have had a little ink. I should get my ink out, my daubers. Mostly I want to have the flower labeled. That's the goal. Okay, so now we made a little cute little piece of ephemera there. I do want to ink the edges of this going around here. Let's get our washi out of the way, behaving itself. Oh, let's see. This is kind of a nice border as is. So this side, let's go ahead and, do we want fossilized amber or rusty hinge or bundled twigs? What colors do we have? It's kind of the pinky color and the green on this side. It doesn't really matter. We can pick whatever we want to do. So let's go ahead. Let's do bundled sage. And since we need to add some color or texture to some other stuff, I'm just going to use this envelope and we're going to start laying down some texture on that friend as we go. Okay, so that is done. That's going to go in our bin of ephemera. And I was thinking about it as I was working on that one. Let's maybe hold off on cutting this one down because this might be an interesting flip to have in the book. So I don't want to cut it down just yet because it might be perfect to add into it someplace else. So we're going to set this aside as an option for later. And let's move on to this packaging. I have wanted to do something with this. Literally, I finally was just like, I'm just going to use this soap. The soap was a gift from a friend quite a while ago, and I have put off using it because it was like, it was a big bar of soap. It was like an expensive bar of soap. It's like $10.99. I'm not exactly sure where she got it from, but it's beautiful. The box still smells nice, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm hoping I can open it easy, but I think I'm gonna have to cut it. Trying to see the best way here. Okay, there we go. It is the fine. I'm just trying to get as much of the design as I can, and I know it's under there. I'm gonna have to cut it. I think that it's really glued in. A little more, friend. Yeah, because it'll probably be sticky too. So, okay, so let's just cut it. We're just gonna cut it down in here as close as we can. And then open it up and see what we have. Okay, so I'm thinking, because I even like this part, but we could add something else into this little, it's a metal kind of thing that's supposed to make it look like it's a seal. So we could take that off and put our own on it too, because there's also some like fake cordage there. And then this is supposed to look like it's wrapped burlap or something. So let's go ahead. I think I'm going to try and tear that edge. So, tearing ruler. Still working on stuff. Oh, hang on. In my workroom. So, I rearranged some of my drawers to get what I wanted done, to have certain things more accessible, which is great. So let's see how this is going to tear, because I want to have a rough edge, because I think that'll be nicer on the sides, because I'm thinking belly band for this. Okay, so that, and we can save that bit for other things. So I feel like it's big enough for a belly band, or we could do like a side tuck maybe. You'll have to see. Okay. I think this company also does like napkins and stuff like that too. So I feel like this is a brand, Michelle Design Works is a brand that I have seen with some things. I'm pretty sure napkins. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tear off this part as well. Ooh, that does not want to tear easily. It's fine. All right, can I use this for anything? Artisanal soap made in the English countryside. Scent, creamy shea butter. It's a very nice soap. I used it yesterday. So, very nice soap. It was nice. I like it. And it's a huge bar, so I'll have to use it for a while. All right, so that is definitely got to go in our pockets, or in our journal. Not sure where yet, so at least we're breaking some stuff down, trying to figure it out. So let's set that off to the side there for just a minute and get our journal out so we can start getting some stuff in here. I think that would be nice. Oh, you know what? Speaking of like a burlap would be, let me see here. I saved part of the fabric from our cover, the inside cover, and I think that would be perfect. It's not burlap, but it is a great color to go with this. And maybe we can get it kind of torn a bit. Okay, so that's, I guess that's what we're doing. I guess we have picked a direction today. These I'm going to set aside. We might use later. They're going to go in the scrap bin. This is our little scraps. Tidy, tidy, tidy. We only have so much room. Get our stuff out of the way. We'll get our scraps taken care of later. Ruler. You guys go up here. Washies. See, trying to be better about how organized I am. Okay, let's find a spot, although, okay, so side tuck, belly bands. We could do a belly, I think a belly band, this would be beautiful as a belly band. We'll have to do something to extend it larger, which is fine. Nice big belly band. Let's do it. Okay, let's find a page. And we'll need another piece of paper. Let's go and find a page. Let's just find one in first signature, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. This plain, this writing in the back on this. No. All right, we'll find the perfect page. Give us a second. Bear with me. This page. Yes, yes. Let's do it. Oh yeah, I think that will be good. So we're gonna take this friend out. We're gonna put this like so we don't lose our spot. Set you off to the side. Okay. Now first, we need to reinforce this center before we even go any further with this, because this is a little bit fragile. So can we use one of these pieces? We could use a piece of this to reinforce. Glue and sew down there. Oh, what if we did that and then we also did this as the pocket on here? No. What else do we have? That's one thing I haven't done yet, is pull some other like ribbon and things, which I think I'm going to have to do. This is very nice. I have some doilies. I'm looking through some of the other stuff that I pulled. What if we use the center of this? It's a little wide. I also have this guy. Ooh, okay, I see you. That's pretty. Okay, that's pretty. So let's do that, and then maybe a little bit of something sticking out on the edges. My whole plan just got derailed when I opened this up. Okay. So let's handle this first. Did I ink both sides of it? I did not. Okay, so let's do a washi here. Okay, so we have the one side, and let's do something on the other. Then I think I will. So let me find something for that really quick, and then we'll go from there. All right, let's go ahead then. Get this glued down, and then take it to the sewing machine. Yeah. Okay. Train going by. That's the shaking is. All right, so what do I want to use? Let's try this friend. This side, I think I've ever tried this side. Whoa. So it's supposed to be quick dry. It's an Elmer's Craft Glue, Craft Bond. So we'll see how well it works. Okay. Whoa, that. Oh no, there was like a hole or something. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's no way I need that much glue, but here we are. Holy smokes. Okay, that's gonna be a cleanup here in a sitch. All right. I don't even know where my center is. Tacky. Okay. So we're gonna let that dry, sew it with the machine, figure out where this is leaking. Or did it just ball up? Oh, it's split. Wow. Okay, that is split right there. Okay, good times. All right, that explains why that weird glue spot was there on the edge of the bottle cap. Okay, so we're just gonna close that like so. Oh yeah, that is trouble. I'm gonna wash my hands and stuff. I will be back. Okay, while that's drying, we'll give that a minute to dry. Let's figure out what we're gonna do with this friend and get this started getting sorted out. And yes, because we might sew this, we might as well sew this on too while we're gonna, when we sew this. So that's a good plan. So we don't need that. Let's set that off to the side. I grabbed my, I just want to make sure we don't have any glue gluing anything down here. Okay. So I keep some of my trim on a, like, so this is like a clothing hanger or something. It was probably from leggings, I think. And so some of my bits and pieces I keep on here so that they're easily accessible. So normally it's hanging up and then I can just kind of quickly page through, and I keep them on a safety pin. So this is a easy, fun tip. You can have these on like a hook hanging on your wall or something. Some people have, I'm planning on having like an over the door hanger that I'm going to use regularly. I think I'll want something from this one. I have, and I kind of organize them kind of by color or type. So I'm going for my vintage and antique bits here because I really like a couple of things. And there's a wider lace too that I was like, ooh. So this one is the one that I am looking at here that I have used for a number of things. So let's see. This one is also nice. So let's take a look at that. And then these are thinner, but I want something nice and wide. And there was one other thing I wanted to look at. So sometimes it's nice to audition a couple of things just to see what you think is going to be the best bet. So I want that wide one. All right. And next we need a heavier piece of cardstock or something. So let's dig in our bin. I know we've got some in here, and it has to be big enough to cover the whole page, go from edge to edge. And I know I've got some pieces in here. Here's a dark green. That'll be nice. Let's use that, friend. Not quite. Biscuits. Okay, there's got to be some other ones. What else we got in here? These might work. Okay, I see you. Wow. Didn't know that was in there, but hey, that's nice. What was that? The hidden gem. That's nice. Other ones? Oh yeah, there's some more of that. Wonder what these were from. Some project I abandoned some time ago. Okay, we're gonna definitely use some of these friends then. Cool. All right, so let's use one of these guys. I know they have a fold in the middle, but that's gonna be fine. And since we have this kind of behind here on the page, it's not gonna be a big deal. They can peek out a little bit. So our center is there. So we could make this a pocket too. We can just make this a big pocket. Oh, I do like that. So let's actually, oh, I don't want to keep that. Garbage. So there's like a plastic coating on this, which is making it a little difficult to tear. Which makes sense since it had soap in it, that there would be kind of like a weird plastic coating. Okay, so that's better. All right, let's cut this down a bit and then we'll go from there. It's a little wide and a little tall. So let's do that so we get the most out of it. Need to be about this big. Let's do, because I don't want to lose all of this here either. Let's go about there. Maybe we'll go down a little bit. Let's go on this side. So I'll get this we're gonna probably let overlap. Yeah. Let's take this bit off here. Or not. Maybe we will just use that, but I would like to get some other, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, that's better. I like that. And then okay, that is nice. Let's do that. Then we're going to add something over top of here. We can do that a little later. But let's get these kind of sewn down. I have ink this first. Let's ink that. And let's ink it with, let's do Rusty Hinge. I'm just going to glue stick this a little bit in place just to kind of keep it down while I want to sew it, so it'll help everything kind of start being where it needs to be. So I'm going to take this to the sewing machine, sew this, and then sew this bit, because that should be dry. You need something on you for now. Heavy. I don't have heavy books to weigh things down. Stay there. All right, so I did 2 rows of just a zigzag stitch on here. And then this friend, Now, let's double check before we put it on. Make sure that that is where we wish it to be. I'm trying to find my fold line. Where did this page fold before? I think that is it. Okay, so that's pretty. I mean, that could be nice too. So let's double check and make sure we have the right pick. So reinforce the page, but then maybe this side. So I wish a little bit more of the writing was going to show. Oh, that's nice though too. Let's do this side. Let's do it here. Why not? So I'm just gonna sew it across top and bottom. All right, so that is a lovely, lovely belly band now. I wonder, will it fit this front? Oh, it will. This is one of our biggest things so far, so that's nice. Will it fit the stationery? It will. It's pretty stationary. See, that's already pretty. Pretty. All right, so then we'll have to find something to put in there. And then a little label of some sort to go here. Oh, I wonder. What if we did like a little, could we put a pocket in there or something? Oh, thinking, I thought, what if we could clip him or tie him around this? That's a thought. Anyway, I think I will leave this one here for now, and then we'll pick up. So I'll make that enough for this video. So we did a few little things, and yeah, don't forget, like, share, subscribe. It's really helpful to get it out there and grow my channel some more. And leave a comment. I answer every single comment. I love hearing from people. I love people's ideas and takes on what I'm working on. It's all really fun. Yeah, so there we go. So I hope you keep creating. I hope you're working on stuff. I hope you're having fun. Let me know what you're doing. I'd love to hear that too. Are you working on some kind of a field journal? Have you worked on one before? And art with your heart. Have a great day. Bye.